Bleeding your brakes up, quite often you'd use a tube and an open neck jar with some fluid in. The tube would get fitted to the bleed nipple on the caliper or the wheel cylinder. You'd crack it off. You would then proceed by pumping the pedal through while somebody would be underneath, making sure that the last time you push it down the bleed nipple gets locked off. Well, we can get away from this one for now. What we have on here is a one-man bleeding kit. Well, it isn't actually, it's a pressure bleeder. It uses air pressure to push brake fluid through. This one is from Paddock and it comes with a kit. I have a spare piece of tubing here, which I'm going to use as an extra. So basically what you've got is your fluid in a container, which is for the fresh brake fluid. Screw on lid, and this has got to be pressure tight. Screws onto the master cylinder just down there, as you can see, and it uses tyre air pressure to pressurise the system, as you can see there, all hunky-dory. Basically it's using low air pressure to pressurise the hydraulic system and push the fluid through, as we can see here. More akin for the older series vehicles where you have problems bleeding the brakes up. The cap supplied in the kit also fits the clutch master cylinder, as you can see here, which is excellent because these also have bleeding problems. The kit you need to assemble from the packet, and you can see you have the cap here. Pipe goes into the bottle, which has a feed pipe which goes into the fluid. If you get it the wrong way round, you're just pushing air. If you want to get this working properly, you need to make sure the feed dips into the fluid in the reservoir there. Okay, so screwed onto the master cylinder, and on the other end you have a one-way valve, okay, which is where you're going to drain off your fluid from your caliper. I've actually put just a little bit of extra tubing, fits on the end nicely, and this gives me enough length to be able to put it into a container easily. I can then watch to see how much air is coming out of the system. If you use too much pressure in this system, watch and see what happens. You can see the fluid is being pushed out of the top of the reservoir. That is not good. This only runs on about 10 psi. Make sure the cap is tight on the reservoir and you only run a low pressure through this. The instructions with this tool say that you fit this to your tyre, make sure your tubing's fitted to your nipple and crack it off, and then you pump it through. They also recommend to keep an eye on the reservoir so it doesn't get empty. Over time you'll find that these flexible pipes will actually get quite hard and you won't be able to reassemble this. You can get this extra piping from any motorist hardware store, and it's actually screen washer jet tubing, as you can see on here. I had to pinch a bit to bleed up some brakes once, and I've put a new piece in here, you can see that. This isn't quite what professionals use in garages, however this is a good solution for bleeding your brakes up, or even your hydraulic clutch system. So instead of reverse bleeding the system, you can take advantage of this tool.